I was a young sportscaster in Edmonton, Canada, where the Oilers had assembled a powerhouse. And one year in training camp, Glenn Sather announced that he was inviting the Scottish Wayne Gretzky to come and try out. Well, we all went down to the rink to see this curiosity. It turns out he was more than a curiosity. He was a terrific player who belonged there and everywhere he played. It is fair to say that very few players in the history of the game play better longer than Tony Hand.
The International Ice Hockey Federation Hall of Fame has inducted NHL stars like Joe Sakic, Mario Lemieux, and Wayne Gretzky, but no one made as memorable an entrance as Tony Hand, who attended his induction ceremony dressed in traditional Scottish Highland regalia. Hand received the Richard Toriani Award, which is given to players from lesser-known hockey nations, but he might have become well-known in North America if a 1980s tryout with the powerhouse Edmonton Oilers had panned out. Hand is a member of the Order of the British Empire, recognized for his massive contributions to hockey in the United Kingdom. He's an accomplished coach in the British professional ranks and with the national program, but his most impressive achievements came during an unrivaled 34-season playing career. Growing up in Edinburgh, Hand headed to the local skating rink at the age of 7 for an escape after the death of his father from a heart attack. Playing alongside his brothers, he was eventually discovered by a local team, the Murrayfield Racers, with whom he made his professional debut at 14. By 17, Hand led the British Hockey League with 116 assists in 50 games to go with 99 goals. He surpassed the 100-goal mark in each of the next 4 seasons. Those early years were the statistical high point of a pro career spanning more than 3 decades, during which Hand collected 2,992 assists and 4,634 points, both British hockey records. Wayne Gretzky, the player to whom Hand is most frequently compared in Britain, established NHL records considered unmatchable with 1,963 assists and 2,857 points. Hand is exceedingly modest, and when asked about his British hockey exploits, he likes to say the reason he put up such big numbers is because the goalies were bad. Whatever the reason for his remarkable point totals, it was enough to gain the attention of the Oilers, who were in the midst of building one of the great dynasties in league history when they selected Hand with the final pick in the 1986 draft, making him the first player from the United Kingdom drafted by an NHL team. By then, Hand had earned a tryout with the Calgary Flames, Edmonton's biggest rival. The British National League had a deal with the Flames where they'd invite the Young Player of the Year in Britain to their camp in Calgary. But his rights were officially owned by the Oilers, who'd won consecutive Stanley Cups in 1984 and 85. So Hand reported the Oilers training camp in 1986. On a club that would win 3 more cups in the next 4 seasons, Hand made an impression. Despite facing long odds to make the team, there was no question that Hand had enough skill when he came over for his first training camp. But he was a bit overwhelmed by the whole process. With few roster spots available, Hand was sent to the Victoria Cougars of the Western Hockey League. After collecting 8 points in 3 games, a homesick Hand returned to Edinburgh to finish the season with the Racers. He was invited back to Oilers camp the next season and was one of Edmonton's final cuts. But Hand again decided to head home rather than report to Edmonton's top developmental team in the American Hockey League. He wouldn't receive another invitation to an NHL camp, instead flourishing in Britain and becoming the only hockey player to receive the prestigious member of the British Empire from Queen Elizabeth. His 82 points with the national team made him the country's career-leading scorer. After 14 seasons serving in a dual role as a player and coach with a number of British teams, Hand retired as a player in 2015 at the age of 47. He served as head coach of the Manchester Phoenix of the English Ice Hockey League until the club ceased operations. In his day, Hand was the best player in the UK by far. He had a skill set nobody else had, and is now passing his wisdom down to the younger generation of players as the head coach of the Whitley Warriors. Perhaps one day another player of Hand's caliber will come out of the British Elite League. For all the success he enjoyed at home, Hand still sometimes thinks about his decision to leave Edmonton. He was young and hadn't been away from home before. While he doesn't spend too much time dwelling on his decision, in hindsight he regrets that he didn't take greater advantage of his opportunities in North America. That's all for this look back at Tony Hand, the Scottish Wayne Gretzky. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to support the channel.